Here's a visual timeline of Chicago's most iconic sites from its early days to the present. This timeline will feature black and white images for older landmarks and color images for modern additions to show the city's evolution. Chicago's early growth was gradual. Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable, widely regarded as the city's founder, established a trading post in the area during the 1780s after arriving via the Mississippi River from New Orleans in the 1770s. But how did this remote wilderness outpost evolve into a town? It took more than a decade for the state legislature to officially incorporate it, and in 1833, Chicago became a town with just 350 residents. As mentioned before, Chicago was first created as a trading hub. The opening of the Illinois and Michigan Canal in 1848 was a transformative moment for Chicago, and it solidified its role as a trade and transportation center. With the canal in place, Chicago became the gateway to the West, allowing for faster and more economical shipping of goods, agricultural products, and raw materials. Chicago was doing really well then. In 1871, disaster struck. The Great Chicago Fire, fueled by wooden buildings and dry conditions, devastated the city. A barn on the southwest side of Chicago, Illinois, caught fire on October 8, 1871. The fire raged across the center of Chicago for over 24 hours, killing 300 people and displacing 1/3 of the city's population. However, the fire ignited a new era of construction and urban planning. Architects saw an opportunity to rebuild stronger and better. Just 14 years later, in 1885, Chicago constructed its first skyscraper, Home Insurance Building, which holds the title of world's first skyscraper. This engineering marvel set the stage for modern high-rise construction. And in 1893, Chicago dazzled the world with the World's Columbian Exposition. The fair showcased cutting-edge inventions and stunning architecture, cementing the city's reputation for innovation. During its 6-month duration, the grounds saw over 150,000 visitors per day. Visitors and locals both saw immense expansion and improvement made in the 2 decades after the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. The fair was so significant that the Chicago flag features it as a star. In 1909, architect Daniel Burnham introduced his visionary plan of Chicago, a blueprint for a more beautiful, organized, and livable city. He studied other cities and came up with 6 main goals, including improving the lakefront, building better roads, creating parks, and organizing city streets. Some ideas like Wacker Drive and public lakefront parks became real, but many did not. Even though the whole plan was never completed, it still inspires city planning in Chicago and around the world today. By 1914, Chicago constructed an iconic baseball stadium, Wrigley Field, which became the home of the Chicago Cubs. The park hosted its first Major League Baseball game on April 23, 1914. During the 1920s, Chicago became a major center for jazz and blues, attracting musicians from the South, especially from New Orleans and the Mississippi Delta. Louis Armstrong, who moved to Chicago in 1922, helped redefine jazz with his groundbreaking solos and energetic performances. He joined Joe King Oliver's Creole Jazz Band and took jazz music to new heights. By 1930, the Art Deco Chicago Board of Trade building was completed. Standing at 605 feet, 184 meters, it became the tallest building in Chicago at the time. It held that position for almost 35 years. 40 years after the World's Columbian Exposition, Chicago held another fair in 1933. This fair that lasted for almost a year was called A Century of Progress International Exposition. This fair welcomed around 39 million visitors. And in 1943, the neon lights of the Chicago Theater marquee illuminated the night for the first time, an enduring symbol of the city's entertainment legacy. Chicago's architectural scene kept progressing, and in 1969, the John Hancock Center, one of Chicago's most iconic skyscrapers, was completed. According to its pinnacle height, the building is the fourth highest structure in Chicago and the 33rd tallest structure worldwide, standing 1,500 feet, 457.2 meters, tall, including its two antennas. Chicago witnessed continuous architectural innovations, and in 1973, Willis Tower, originally known as the Sears Tower, was opened to the public. It has 108 floors and a height of 1,451 feet, 442 meters. This building is still the highest building in Chicago. In 1983, history was made when Harold Washington was elected Chicago's first black mayor. His leadership paved the way for a more inclusive and progressive city. Overall, his leadership left a lasting impact, inspiring future generations and shaping Chicago into a more diverse and inclusive city. By 1991, plans were in place for Millennium Park, an ambitious downtown revitalization project that would transform Chicago's landscape. And in 1998, the United Center became the home of the Chicago Bulls and Blackhawks. Michael Jordan led the Bulls to 6 NBA championships between 1991 to 1998, which solidified his legacy as one of the greatest athletes of all time. The 21st century was all about progressing for Chicago. In 2004, Millennium Park officially opened, featuring the world-famous Cloud Gate, better known as the Bean. It's a massive stainless steel sculpture designed by artist Anish Kapoor. Its mirror-like surface reflects the city's skyline and visitors, making it a favorite photo spot. By 2010, the Chicago Riverwalk expansion had transformed the city's waterfront into a vibrant space for recreation and dining. The project, which continued in phases, enhanced pedestrian access to the waterfront. Then, in 2016, history was made once again as the Cubs won their first World Series in 108 years. This ended one of the longest championship droughts in sports history. The Cubs defeated the Cleveland Indians in a dramatic Game 7, which went into extra innings before Chicago secured the victory 8-7. In the 2020s, Chicago has embraced sustainable architecture and continued riverfront development, reshaping the city's future with a focus on eco-friendly urban planning. New skyscrapers and renovations prioritize energy efficiency, green roofs, and carbon reduction, reinforcing Chicago's commitment to sustainability. Chicago's future is defined by sustainability, innovation, and urban expansion. The city is investing in the expansion of green spaces and the construction of eco-friendly skyscrapers, incorporating energy-efficient designs, rooftop gardens, and carbon-neutral technologies. Advancements in public transit include smart city initiatives, improved infrastructure, and high-speed rail projects aimed at enhancing connectivity and reducing congestion. The city's arts, technology, and innovation sectors continue to grow, positioning Chicago as a global hub for creativity and progress. With a commitment to sustainability, modern infrastructure, and cultural enrichment, Chicago is shaping a vibrant and forward-thinking future. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this journey through Chicago's history, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. Let us know in the comments what you think about Chicago's transformation over the centuries. What era of Chicago's history interests you the most? We'd love to hear your thoughts.